After everything Landman has put us through over these first 2 seasons, it honestly feels emotional to even talk about what comes next. Season 2 basically closed a door and opened another one at the exact same time. Landman won't ever be the show that we have known for the past 2 years anymore. And that's exactly why Season 3 already feels so heavy even before it begins. Season 2 followed Tommy when he should have been standing on solid ground. Monty was gone, MTEX was his to run, and for a brief moment, felt like maybe this was his reward for surviving everything that came before. Almost immediately, though, the weight of the job started crushing him. Galeno came back into his life as a living reminder that favors are never free, and this time it was Cooper who was in the crosshairs, which was much more concerning for Tommy as a conscious father. At this point, there's something almost tragic about Cooper's gifted instinct about the refineries. It should have been a blessing, but instead, it became yet another reason for terrible people to come closer and pressure this family. This season, with MTEX on the edge of collapse, Cooper's talent started to look like a lifeline, though. But as we all know, lifelines can turn into nooses when the wrong hands grab them. At the same time, everything at home was unraveling. Tommy was trying to be a father, a partner, and a leader all at once. And running parallel to his breakdown was Cammy's ultimately. To no one's surprise, their relationship fractured, slowly but surely. Conversations became colder, and their mutual trust slipped away. By the time Cammy made her move, firing Tommy and choosing to run MTEX without him, it felt shocking, yes, but also inevitable. For Tommy, being fired meant losing the last piece of control he thought he had over his life. When you strip everything else away, all he had left was family and that precious hereditary instinct. That's how CTT Oil Exploration and Cattle was born in the very final episode of the season. Starting that company with Cooper and TL was about money, of course. But it was also about choosing family over endless board meetings. For the first time in his life, Tommy wasn't keeping someone else's empire alive. Now, he is betting on himself, which is something many of us have probably dreamed about. In that sense, he ended Landman Season 2 in a pretty peaceful mood, which was the least I expected from this season finale. Billy Bob Thornton expressed it perfectly in a recent interview about the finale. He said, "The end is the beginning of the season." Tommy's not the kind of guy who ever trusts happiness, but just for this one moment. Tommy lets himself be happy for a change, though I still think he's warily happy. That weary happiness says everything. It's a man smiling while already bracing for the fall. Because yes, there was peace on the surface, but deep down, nothing about this ending, or shall we say, new beginnings, safe. As we head into Season 3, Galeno is still there, hovering over everything. His plans are unclear, and that might be the scariest part. He's undeniably charming, patient, and calculating. And Season 3 is going to force Tommy to confront what it really means to be in business with someone like that. Whether Tommy has truly made peace with that alliance, or is just delaying the inevitable cost, is going to define what comes next. Plus, there's the offshore rig. Newsom heading out to sea in search of oil and gas is basically a ticking clock ready to explode. The future of MTEX and Cammy's entire gamble rests on what happens out there in the dark water. If they strike oil, Cammy basically wins, and the collision course between her and Tommy becomes unavoidable. What makes Season 3 feel so exciting already is how much of the cast remains central to the story. Unlike most shows, no one was erased at the end of Season 2. Instead, everyone was repositioned in their lives. Most importantly, Tommy is still at the center. Billy Bob Thornton confirmed he's not going anywhere, saying, "I'm signed up for like 5 years. So as long as they want me, I'll be there." Cammy's story feels far from finished. Angela's longing for stability and love is still unresolved. Cooper and Ariana stepping toward marriage is exciting. And Anley's journey into independence feels surprisingly interesting. As we approach Season 3, I am genuinely curious about every single one of these characters. Season 3 isn't asking whether Tommy can start over, he already did. Instead, it's asking whether starting over was the bravest thing he's ever done or the most dangerous mistake of his life. It will be the season of consequences for him, which makes it even more interesting. Landman has officially been renewed for Season 3, with Paramount Plus confirming it back in December 2025, which shows the faith they have in this story. There's no release date yet, but if the pattern holds, late 2027 feels likely. For more weekly updates, discussions, and analysis on Landman Season 3, make sure to like and follow. And meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you. A city sleeps under the weight of secrets. Shadows stretch across empty streets. Something is stirring, and it's not just another night in the city. Every corner hides whispers. Every alley carries danger. The calm you see is only skin deep. Tonight, everything is about to change. The stakes are higher, the enemies are smarter, and the one man who thought he could handle it all will soon find out how fragile power really is. The screen cuts to a dimly lit skyline, the city lights flickering like distant warnings. A slow, almost imperceptible hum of tension fills the air as the camera pans across rooftops, hinting at someone watching from above. We see the faint glow of a single window, then a shadow moving inside. Papers scatter on a desk. A briefcase clicks shut. The sound is sharp, echoing through the silent streets. Quick cuts reveal the protagonist's hands gripping a steering wheel. Eyes focused, determination carved into every line of his face. The music swells slightly, subtle, yet foreboding. As we catch glimpses of objects that matter, letters, photographs, a ring glinting under the dim light, the voiceover cuts in, low and deliberate. Everything you thought you knew is about to change. Then shadows appear across alleyways, a figure moving too quickly. Someone whispering into a phone, footsteps chasing secrets. Smoke curls from a nearby building, lights flicker. And the camera zooms into a fleeting message scrawled on a wall. They know. The door slams shut. A siren wails in the distance, and the city seems alive with tension. We see close-ups, a hand shaking slightly as it holds a glass of water. Flicker of doubt in a face barely visible in the dark, a key turning in a lock that could lead anywhere. Every frame is a tease, a promise that danger is around every corner. The montage speeds up. Cars pass under streetlights, shadows dart in alleyways. A briefcase changes hands in silence. The protagonist steps into a room, the door shutting behind him with a definitive click, echoing through the tense silence. The camera lingers on a moment of stillness. He looks at a photograph. A memory, perhaps. A clue to what's at stake. The voiceover whispers again, slower this time, carrying weight. The city sleeps, but nothing stays hidden for long. Music rises, tempo quickens. Quick flashes of smoke, lights, and movement, figures running. A hand drawing a weapon. Someone looking over their shoulder with fear etched into their expression. Each cut sharp. Each frame loaded with tension. A single text line fades on the screen. Landman Season 3, then another. The fight begins. The heartbeat-like rhythm of the music syncs with the visuals, pulling viewers into the pulse of the city, into the rhythm of danger, into the world where power is fragile and secrets are deadly. The first section ends with the protagonist silhouetted against a window. City lights reflecting off glass, his figure resolute yet shadowed by uncertainty. The camera slowly pulls back, revealing a city sprawling with threats, possibilities, and mysteries yet to unfold. The voiceover delivers a final line that hangs in the air like smoke. Brace yourself. Nothing will ever be the same. The screen bursts into fragmented flashes, brief, almost disorienting. A mailbox swings open in slow motion, revealing a single, unmarked envelope. Smoke curls from a nearby street lamp, making the shadows dance in unnatural ways. A hand reaches down, picking up a photograph, faces blurred, a clue buried in mystery. The city hums around it, alive and indifferent, as if nothing matters. Except what's coming. Footsteps echo on wet pavement. Someone is being followed. The camera doesn't show the pursuer clearly, just a shadow flickering at the edge of frame. Then, a sudden tilt. A reflection in a puddle shows two figures stopping, exchanging something small, yet crucial, a flash drive, a note, a key. Their faces remain hidden, but tension crackles like electricity. The voiceover cuts in, measured and deliberate. New enemies are waiting. In places you'll never see. A clock ticks loudly in the silence of an abandoned office. Papers flutter as a breeze slips through a broken window. One sheet floats into the frame, Trust no one. Quick cuts follow glimpses of eyes glinting in the dark. Hands tightening on weapons. A car speeding down a rain-slicked street. Every visual teases danger without revealing it fully. Music rises, a pulsing rhythm that matches the growing tension. Then, an eerie stillness, a door creaks open to reveal a dimly lit corridor. The camera slowly pans down the hallway, lights flickering above, shadows pooling at the edges. A figure pauses, hand on the wall, listening. Something unseen watches. A faint metallic click echoes. Was it a lock? A weapon? The voiceover whispers, "Old secrets won't stay buried, and the city never foe."